So today I am going to make Gundruk, which is the delicacy of my community, the Gorkha community or the Nepali community all over the world, the Nepali diaspora. So I washed mustard greens and radish greens, sorry for that, drying it out in the sun before it wilts a little bit. Once it has wilted, then I will crush them slightly and re-dry them. The whole idea of this dish as yet, this ingredient, is that it has to be dehydrated completely in the sun. So once it wilts and it dries a little bit, and I've crushed it and I again spread it out like this, then I'm going to stuff it inside a mason jar which has been again sterilized properly, and just stuff it in till it literally chokes in its own leaf. I can't say in its own skin. And turn it upside down. I mean, there should be no air between the, leaves. So, and I'll continue telling you the process and showing you the process how I make my Gundruk. What you see right now is me crushing the slightly wilted leaves, and I'm stuffing it inside this jar so that no space is left for air to pass through, and for the Gundruk to become sour and umami flavored and delicious, when it's finally eaten. If it's packed loosely, then it will lose its essence, and then there might be the chances of bacteria and unwanted mold and things like that, settling into the jar, which we don't want. So this is a technique used by my ancient ancestors in the Himalayan kingdom of Nepal, centuries ago, and how they mastered the art of preserving vegetables. And this is a much loved dish and item which every Nepali household across the globe, from the richest of the rich to the poorest of the poor, relish it with great joy. It can be made into soups, it can be made into gravies, it can be made into, again, different kind of pickles, chutneys, and what have you. You just have to rehydrate, these greens that you see, and then you consume it the way, your family has passed down a recipe. So I'll pass down recipes which I've learned from my family and friends who are of the Nepali origins. Apart from this, I'm also going to make mula ko achar, which I will show in my next video. Till then, stay tuned. I think the jar is a little too big, so I'll take a smaller jar and really try to stuff it in properly so that there's no air which can pass through. I'm holding the camera with one hand, so the footage may not be very pretty, but it's the process, and I hope you enjoy watching it and making it. If you can't make it, I'm also selling these at 350 rupees per 200 grams. As you can see, it's quite labor intensive and it takes up a lot of time, and it's a rare delicacy, so it's worth its weight in gold. So I'm not asking you to pay me in gold, but all these will be packed in paper and labeled so that you know exactly, and I'll try to also put in a little recipe inside so that you can actually experiment eating and really enjoying this dish. For the time being, let me just stuff it in the bigger bottle, and after I crush all of these, then I'll transfer it onto the smaller one, because I think this one is too big. So I am planning to make a batch of about 50 kilos, which will take up this entire month and then by December, mid-December, if the sun is as good as it is currently, then I think the Gundruk should be ready for sale and for eating. And you can buy it, you can contact me, you can DM me either on my Instagram or just on the comment box, and I'll respond. And you can really enjoy this. You can mix it with soya and make a dish out of it. You can mix it with your fish curries or with chicken or with plain vegetables, and even with paneer. I've tried it with that, and it turns out really well. And then in winters, of course, who doesn't like soups? So you can make a nice stew or a soup, a Gundruk stew or a soup, where you add little nuggets of chicken, or if you are a vegetarian, then just other ingredients. So I'll try to make recipes of Gundruk as well, and I just need someone to hold my camera for me. So, but I'll still try and manage. Let's see where we go with this. If it fits into this, if I can stuff it all in the bigger bottle, then I'll do that. The jar has been sterilized completely and sun-dried. So I'll also be making in future videos, of course, besides the music, the art and everything, sun-dried produce, spicy produce, and made with king chili and stuff like that. So all of those will be made available online, and I will try to make the foods as dry as possible, dehydrated food, so that you can rehydrate them and eat them. And for the fast moving foods, you'll have to give me like a week's notice or something, and then I'll have it sent over by porter if you live in Delhi. If you're outside Delhi, then I'll have to courier it, obviously. So let's see how it goes and how things progress. So I think it may fit into the bigger one, but I'll have to really stuff it in. Let me just finish this and I'll make another clip. So I had to do it in the smaller bottle, and I'm using a balan, a rolling pin, to stuff the Gundruk in, so that this 2-3 kilos of Gundruk fits into this small little jar, which is a capacity of 500 ml. You see how it reduces. But the magical thing is that once it gets rehydrated, it will never fit into this bottle. It will need about 5 bottles to fit in, So this is how I'm going to stuff the entire thing, and then I'll show you the rest. So I've managed to fit the whole thing in the small bottle, and it's like chock-a-block. Now what I'll do is, on this bird cage, I'll just turn it upside down, and then I will keep it like this for 10 to 15 days without opening or touching it. It's really green right now, emerald green, but as it dries, as it ferments, the color will change to a golden brown or a dark brown and even black. And we'll see that process in between in the second and third parts of the Gundruk series. Enjoy!